Lights, camera,
Rolling.
action.
Welcome to my podcast, Let's Talk About Verticals, a place where secrets are spilled, stories unfold, and the mysterious world of verticals is revealed in all its glory. Behind the scenes, oh yes. Exclusive insights, absolutely. Eccentric characters, you bet. So pull up a chair, pour yourself something suspiciously strong, and prepare for a conversation you didn't know you needed. So welcome to the podcast Let's Talk About Verticals. And now, let's talk. Hello and welcome to my podcast Let's Talk About Verticals. Today with another actor, and it was a bit rough to get him in this podcast, but we did it. So I'm very happy about that he joins me for this episode, and I say hello to Gabe Armentano. Hello.
I'm Michaela. Hello, hello.
Welcome.
You are completely correct. It was a big pain in the butt trying to coordinate these schedules.
Yeah,
I think
you're so busy, huh?
Well, I have a lot to be grateful for because I started doing these about a year and a half ago. Well, I've been acting for a long time, but I started doing verticals about a year and a half ago. And sometime around the spring, I've transitioned, or at least I'm still trying to only work in a capacity as a lead. And so when you have platforms that are interested in working with you, or you have maybe production companies that will work with you, sometimes you're fortunate enough to do projects back to back. In our case, we've been trying to get together since I was out of the country, and that's a whole other bananas thing, because now it's not just production schedules, but it's also just like on top of the fact that right now in LA to Germany was a 9-hour difference. When I was in China,
It was 5 hours. It would be better.
You think it'd be better? Yeah, but
yeah,
then
China is from here 5 hours ahead, and now you're 9 hours backward.
Okay. Guilty as charged. I'm thinking backwards though, because I'm like morning. Okay, fine.
It would have been the easiest way if you would have done a stop on your flight back home from China here in Germany.
Interesting.
Or you should have get a production in Turkey, Italy, Lithuania, or England, somewhere in Europe.
I'm definitely gonna try to get a European project on the books, if not before the end of the year, in the next 6 months.
Then it would be totally easy.
Yes.
To be nearly in the same time time. But if you are in Turkey, then it would be only 1 hour.
Interesting.
And from here to Turkey, it's only a 2-hour flight.
Oh, that's so easy.
Yeah, Europe is not so big. In 1 hour from here, I'm in Switzerland. In 1 hour, I'm in Austria. In 1.5 hours, I'm in Luxembourg. In 2 hours, I'm in France.
Do you
driving?
Have a chance
Driving.
Wait, driving? Oh,
yes.
My goodness.
Not flying, driving with the car. In 45 minutes from here, you are on the border to Switzerland. Yep. And in round about 1 hour, you are in Austria by car. That's a nice thing about Europe.
I have a little bit of Austrian in my blood. My mom is
my mom is Austrian.
Austrian, Czechoslovakian, and Hungarian. That's my mom's side. My dad's is Italian, so.
And then you live in the US. What happened?
Oh my goodness. Something happened in the 1890s. Both sides of the family decided to hop on a boat and get off on Ellis Island. You can find their names in the little book by the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, okay. Armentano sounds really Italian. Have you ever been in Italy?
I have not. I'm in the talks to possibly visit my home village, Moto San Lucia in Calabria, southern Italy, but I've never been.
Have you ever been in Europe?
I have visited Europe for one trip with my sweet mother. We did a little post-graduation for college trip, and we went to basically London for 10 days. with
Okay.
a teeny, teeny, weeny little day trip to Paris and a day trip to Edinburgh.
Oh,
And as you
Edinburgh in
know,
Scotland.
as you right,
Oh,
yeah.
great.
Oh, it was cool. It was really cool.
Edinburgh is
Yeah,
such a nice city. Can
yeah.
you imagine? I spoke with Dan Lowenstein, the director from the UK,
Okay.
and I told him a vertical shooting in Scotland would be so great because the
Oh, it'd be
landscapes are
magical.
so nice there. Or in
Yeah.
Ireland.
Oh, yeah. Goodness.
Huh? So we are on it. He told me that they
You
are
got it.
founding a new platform in the UK.
They are. Oh,
Yes.
really?
Yes. Yes. So they
This,
want to
this is what
produce a
we
bit
need.
more European based stuff. And I
Cool.
spoke also with Roberta Sparta, the director
Okay.
of
Yeah, she's
Sparta
great.
Productions. And
Yeah.
she's from Italy also. And she's
Great.
shooting in Italy. And
Yeah.
then Dan Lowenstein also shot a vertical in Italy. So Italy
Okay.
is really coming for vertical
We're going
shooting.
back to the spaghetti Western roots, trying to get some more
Come on.
cinema
If you're
bacon.
shooting in Italy, the first thing, the food is always great.
Of course. Yeah.
You cannot get better food than in Italy. I lived in Italy, in Milano, for a
Okay.
job for 6 months, and I missed the food.
Yeah.
Okay, by car from here, 5 hours, and you're in Milano, so it's
Oh
fine.
my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, I live in South Germany. Here it's really great. You can go by car in so many different countries. You can
Yeah.
go to the Alps, you can go by plane 1 hour and 20 minutes, and you are in the north in Hamburg. So it's
And
totally easy.
that's how the EU works. Like you could just hop from any country to there's no
Exactly.
concern. Cool. That's very cool.
When I'm flying from here 5 hours, I'm already in Dubai.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the thing is like for us, we just have the Pacific Ocean. It just adds like 10 plus hours anywhere we
Yeah,
want to
you can
go.
fly all over the US and you are a longer distance than I would have here. And yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, my family lives on the East Coast, and so I have to fly usually minimum 5 hours just to see relatives.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
So when did you move? Did you move for acting?
I moved yeah, acting is really the best reason to say I moved out to LA. So I grew up in Connecticut, little
Mm-hmm.
state in New England. I lived in New York for about 8 years. I studied acting for a couple of years there. I did a teeny weeny weeny bit of downtown theater and a couple indie films. And I was a caretaker. I lived with this awesome woman in her 90s. She's like the
Mm-hmm.
biggest blessing in my life. And Catherine, sweet Catherine,
Oh,
as I lived with her,
I think I saw a picture. Did you post a
yeah,
picture
on my
on?
Instagram, there's a couple photos. There's like
Yeah,
me, tall, skinny white
I
boy, and
saw
then
one of
little
this with the
Catherine.
lovely old lady.
Yes, she's
Yeah,
awesome.
I
Yeah,
saw that.
she's so great. So she passed in 2020, and so that kind of created this like, okay, the pandemic's going on. Do I stay in the city and pay full rent for basically living in lockdown, no job, no social life? Or do I give myself permission to kind of step away, reset, save? So I was in New York from 2012 to 2020, went back to my dad's in Connecticut for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And when things started to open back up, I decided to take the leap and try LA as an acting market because I just had this hunch that there was going to be something in LA that New York would not be able to provide.
Okay.
And LA is a film town more so than New York for sure. New York's got the musical theater, it's got the theater. They do have studios, Steiner
Broadway?
Studios. Sure, but they don't have film, and I really love film.
But they're doing a
When
lot of verticals right now, don't they?
they
In New York.
are, but you have to okay, so if we want to do brass tacks, I would say for every one vertical, and again, this is like numbers out of my butt, like I really
Yeah.
but I would say from what I hear, from the breakdowns I see, I'd say for every like one vertical they're doing in New York, they're probably doing at least five in LA.
Oh, okay.
So if they're
Okay.
making two in New York, then they're making 10 in LA. And like that ratio is probably off,
Hmm.
but there's just so much work in Los Angeles right now, especially for those of us who are able to like capture the attention for leads and supporting leads and villains and assistants. There's some pretty good consistent work. I mean, even for the day players in the background, there's always a set you can just stumble onto and get someone to pay you a day rate or a half day rate. And you're right, like New York, there's a lot of the verts happening, but just not as much as LA. The other cities haven't quite caught up yet. I don't know if it's an affordability or just a resource thing, but they happen in Atlanta, they happen in New York. We've even seen one-offs in Nashville or Texas, but LA still, in my opinion, is currently the New York is currently the American, if not the North American hub, because they're made in Vancouver and Toronto occasionally as well.
So you were lately in China for doing verticals. Where have you
Yes.
also been for doing verticals?
Only China.
So
Outside
only
of
China and LA.
basically, yeah, the big cities I've done are LA and New York in the States. I did Vancouver. Hopefully, we'll be back this year, if not early next year, and then China. So three countries, four cities, and
Also,
I love.
Europe is really a white lefted point on it.
I know it's untapped resources I got to find my way
On
into.
your,
So
you have to put it on your bucket list.
absolutely, yeah. No, I have. So funny. I was gonna say classmates, co-stars, friends. I have peers who have, as you mentioned, worked in Turkey.
Mm.
I think I've had peers who've worked in London. I don't know anybody who's worked in Italy. I know a couple people who've done the Lithuania or the Romania thing. And then even Southeast Asia is expanding. It's not just China now. Once in a while, they're made in Korea,
In Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
I've even heard about them in Malaysia, but
In
I just don't
Malaysia
know.
or
Yeah,
Australia or
Australia,
Ukraine.
definitely.
Ukraine.
Yeah,
Kiki Frex was
exactly.
lately in the Ukraine.
Yes, yes, exactly. Kiki's great. Love Kiki.
So, how did you get to your first vertical job? And
First vertical
question,
job.
did
Go,
you know
yeah.
what verticals were at this point?
So I did know what they were. I don't know if I was calling them verticals at the time. I think it was more so. Okay, so I've been in LA for, we'll say, 3.5 years, right?
Hmm.
Somewhere around the fall of 23 is kind of where I hear people say verticals started taking off. My first vertical was in June 24. So there's about a 9 month difference there. And
What
so
was
in
the
those nine,
title? Do you know the
oh, the
title of
first
your
one I
first?
did,
Yeah, yeah.
oh my goodness. It was with Nicole Maddox. It was, it's, I mean, I could probably pull it up on IMDb. It was something alpha. It was an alpha one.
And Werewolf
Um,
one. You started with a Werewolf one
Started with the werewolf one, yeah, I know.
as a beta or
Definitely.
what?
As a antagonist, so I
Okay.
was an opposing alpha. Um, what was that? Okay, anyway, so yeah, there's a 9 month stretch between when they were starting to pick up in LA and when I hopped in, and you see the breakdowns online, and you don't know what it is. You just know it looks really stupid. Um,
Yeah.
And from somebody who like went to acting school and you're just like hoping to like get on a random TV show with like five lines. It's like, I've got craft. I want to step on a good set. I want to be. And then you see these like so and so CEO with $1 billion falls in love with and the family, this and that. And like somebody gets slapped and pregnant and stepchildren.
And
And it
the
was just like,
werewolf, the first thing was
right.
a werewolf one. So what?
Yeah, exactly. So it was they were things to be avoided. A lot of people were just like, I don't want to touch that with I was gonna say with a 10 foot pole, but I guess that's a 3 meter pole for you guys. But whatever it is, it's just like stay away. Please stay away. I don't want to get involved. And so my journey in 2024 from working a day job to working a working consistently in the vertical field space
Mm-hmm.
is honestly, I'm very grateful. It was kind of completely by accident. If not, I was fighting through it the whole time. I was working at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
In LA, we oftentimes refer to like the East Side, the West Side, the Valley. So I was working at a restaurant on the West Side, doing my same old restaurant thing, 4 days a week, pay the bills, try to be available for auditions. And it was just becoming obvious to me that I was operating with like an out of date mindset. You go to school and the professors always tell you got to make yourself available for auditions during the day, do whatever you got to do at night, just pay the bills.
Yeah.
But nobody drives around for auditions anymore. They're always at home. So you don't
But is that
need
because of the
okay.
pandemic
The
that
pandemic
they're
accelerated it. It
okay?
accelerated it. But we did start having online auditions prior to 2020, but pandemic just sealed the deal
Do you like
because
online auditions more than
I don't know if more is the
live
right word.
auditions?
What I will say is that there is something lost by not having live auditions because you bring your presence and your personality into a space.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I really enjoy you could call it like the craft of the self-tape, where you can self-direct and you can watch, review, revise. And I enjoy just kind of mechanically working through my audition till I get like a nice, massaged, authentic performance. I enjoy the rehearsal and the construction of that. But some
Okay.
people, they're uncomfortable, they're intimidated, they
Yeah.
feel uh it's false. But I don't know, I really enjoy it. So I
Okay.
embrace the home self tape. And so I started to open up to the idea that like, I do I really need to be working in a restaurant if like auditions, I don't need to be driving around for them anymore. And I had a random day off, random day off. I usually work Wednesdays. On that particular Wednesday, I wasn't. And I booked a small modeling gig, a hand modeling gig. And I've done hand modeling in New York. You can look at my nails are not looking so hot because
Hand modeling job?
yeah. You'll
Really?
hold up like yeah. It's so honestly it pays great. Like little hand modeling
For
non-union gigs. Like
watches then or what?
I was doing cosmetics when I was in New York. I was working for a couple skincare products,
Oh, okay.
and it's fun because you step in the studio, you know how to hold it, you make sure the light's not reflecting too much of the label. It's very like
Okay.
technical. I think it's I don't know. I think it's a cool experience, and
Mm-hmm.
so I got cast in this hand modeling gig for phone cases, and I roll up on set, and two things happened in my mind. One was there are so many young people on this set. It wasn't like it wasn't a room of like seasoned professionals who it's just like it's a studio and everyone's been doing this forever. It's like mostly because I'm 31. It's mostly people like 5 to 10 years younger than me, and I'm just like, wait. Everybody here is just freelancing to pay the bills,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not caught up in the trap of like getting some random restaurant retail job or something. And suddenly my mind's like, okay, this can be done. I can work freelance and
Mm-hmm.
let go of like squeezing this old idea that I have to just serve tables. So that was something I was highly aware of. And then the other thing that happened was that I met a vertical casting director on set who's a fellow actor. A lot of people that bounce between different roles in order
Yeah.
to pay the bills or meet people. And so she just happened to be modeling that day. And we all find out very quickly that it's not just a modeling gig. It's like this weird lifestyle that's hanging on a picnic and pretend we're like in the backyard with like cell phone cases. So it's not just our hands. It's just like all of us being chummy with like cute phone cases. And she's like, you should audition for this vertical. And she shows me the breakdown. I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that at all. Not, don't even, no. Yeah, I've seen that. I decided no.
You
I
didn't take it
have
serious or what? I
no,
heard
not
from
at all.
so many actors that they first didn't take it serious. That it will be a long-term thing, the verticals.
Well, the thing is, it's just you see them, and again, in your brain, the closest this is like a soap opera. And for better or for worse, a
Hmm.
lot of people just have a very negative mindset of soap operas. They have this idea that it's not real acting. They have this idea that once you work in that space, it's hard to get out of that space. And so a lot of people really do avoid these dramatic, soapy uh, genres, mediums of acting. And so yeah, so she presents me with this breakdown, and she's like, come on, just audition for it. It'll pay." And I'm like, Okay, I will audition. I will audition." And I auditioned for the job. Within like 24 to 48 hours, she says that client's interested, and they eventually put me in the antagonist role. And as soon as I stepped on set for that project, it was like
What the
a
heck I
light
am
went.
doing here?
No,
No?
honestly, it was like a light switch just went off in my head. I was like, oh, I get it. Like, this is how I can consistently step on set and practice acting and get used to cameras being around me.
Hmm.
And all of the concerns about like low quality scripts,
Yeah,
all of the
yeah.
concerns about like unsafe working conditions, all the concerns about like my online persona, reputation, it just went out the window because it just became clear that there's a path to working on my craft while paying the bills. And I don't know, I totally embraced it. I totally embraced it. I've been having a lot of fun for the last year
So
and a
it was
half.
love of the
And
first sight, you want to say, or what?
it's, love at first sight is pretty damn close. Yeah, it was. You got to remember, 10 years of serving tables and like just being able to get the occasional like gig here and there. I did some fun commercials with some big companies. I did, like I said, the occasional play or a little movie or something. But this
And
is
then a
different.
werewolf came along and
And
got you.
yeah,
And you were
exactly.
cursed since then. How many werewolf
Really
ones did
close.
you?
I think I am on four, although one of them has not been released yet. So we'll see. We'll see if it ends up getting released. But
And how many verticals in total?
I believe, I could be wrong. I believe I just wrapped my 26th and I'll be stepping on my 27th in 2 days. So, yeah,
In 1.5 year?
just about, yeah, it's about a click of about two a month per average, I guess. Right?
Have you
Maybe
done
a little bit.
anything else in this 1.5 year?
I produced my own short film. I did that with a couple best friends of mine, so I'll happily share the link with you. But it's basically my friends and I, we co-wrote and produced a neo-noir thriller about a basically this anger management counselor,
Hmm.
and the film starts on him, and you see he's conducting like a group. It feels like an AA meeting, but it's for people who are trying to get control of their anger. And what basically happens in the following 15 to 20 minutes, it's like a short film pilot length,
Okay.
is the counselor meets a new attendee who is really impressed by his techniques and is like, hey, I really would appreciate if you met my friend in prison because he struggles with his anger and he would benefit from what you teach. And so the counselor says yes, goes to prison, and finds out the person in prison is not a stranger, but it's somebody from his past. And so
Oh,
that's
okay.
kind of, there's just like a twist that takes place. It's very dark. It's got this like Fight Club, Zodiac, Nightcrawler vibe. We really wanted to do like a SoCal mystery kind of crime drama. So it's ideally going to be a project that we can push to the festival circuit, get some eyes on it, and then we'll expand to a feature. So that I've done in the last year. That was really fun. I've done a couple other shorts with some friends. I'm going to be shooting a feature film, a supporting role in the next month. But it has been mostly verticals. Yeah,
Mostly what?
it's yeah.
Do you miss something of your old New York life?
Um, well, I miss Catherine. Catherine was awesome. And yeah, I love her. I've got I'll show you a picture. I got this. This is the closest picture. I mean, there's other pictures in my apartment of her. But
Hmm.
Catherine, and this is
Hmm.
mom.
Hmm.
But yeah, so
That's your
Catherine,
mom or what?
that's my mom. Yeah, that's my mom. Yeah, yeah, right there.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I miss Catherine. And Catherine was just, you gotta, for context for those at home, who may or may not know much about me, I grew up without grandparents, more or less. I had my grandfathers in my life, very grateful, but my
Yeah.
grandmothers, they both passed before I was born.
Yeah, my
And
grandfathers
so,
passed both before I was born, and I only had one grandmother of mine died when I was 3, and the other grandmother of mine died when I was 25.
yeah,
So I really had
yeah.
only one grandmom.
Yeah, grandparents are a tricky thing. And so in my college years, being able to like reconnect with a matriarchal figure like this woman in my life who
Mm.
just basically filled that role that I never had, that was very special. So
Yeah, and
so I
they are
miss
so
that relationship.
wise.
Oh
You
my
can learn
goodness. Yes.
so many things from them.
So I miss her, that part of my chapter in New York. As mentioned, I miss the bike riding because out in LA you just drive everywhere, and I prefer
You
to ride the
cannot
bike
bike ride
everywhere.
in LA?
So not really. No, I,
No?
I I live on the west side, so there are some parts that have bike lanes. There are some
Mm-hmm.
parts that it makes sense to ride a bike in, but honestly, if I'm correct, I haven't been to Europe much, but a lot of the states is just not accustomed to riding around cyclists the same way that you all are. I feel like there's more cyclists on the road in Europe.
Here,
Um,
they are everywhere cyclists.
right, right,
On a
exactly.
Sunday with a bit of sunshine, you cannot go for a walk with the dogs on normal ways because everywhere there are cyclists. After you shot your first vertical,
Yeah.
what got in your mind? Was it kind of weirdo? Was you first thought, okay, I love this, I want to do it? Was it kind of drug? Or
Huh.
was it kind of, okay, I don't know yet what I should think about that one because it was a werewolf one. you heard Nalfa and stuff like that. Was it kind of
It's
weirdo?
funny. A lot of people get really uncomfortable with the werewolf verticals. I think their instinct is, and this is me maybe like over intellectualizing it, but I think in general, verticals are, as we all know, melodramatic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they're written, the way the dialogue is translated or, textually prompted or
Mm-hmm.
however we want to say they're created, the dialogue never feels quite natural, right?
Yeah,
Which is fine because it's kind of our job as actors in this space to collaborate with the writer directors and have it a little bit become more
yeah,
natural.
yeah.
With the fantasy verticals, they come out even a little bit more unnatural, a little bit more elevated because you're not talking as like, a CEO or somebody grounded in the real world. The fantasy, it almost has like a period element to it. It almost
Mm-hmm.
has like a royal amplified element to it. And so I think the fantasy ones, the werewolves, people get even more uncomfortable to use, what you're saying before. Like some people have a knee jerk, like this is really weird, and I don't like calling people alphas, and what the heck is these like status and titles, and for me though, yeah, like sure, if we want to be reductive, yeah, it felt kind of weird, but as an actor, like trying to take and justify everything that's going on, my first instinct is just to go back to like the over intellectualization, the my instinct is it's just Shakespeare.
Mm.
Like all
Yeah.
it is these huge archetypes in a fantasy setting that's either ending with a comedic ending. The story's either ending with a comedy, a wedding, or it's ending with like a tragedy, and like people end up getting cooked. Which usually it's the wedding, and the bad guy.
Mostly.
Yeah, and the bad guy gets what he deserves. So for me, on the one hand, it's very easy to be like, oh my goodness, like how am I going to say this with a straight face? All these.
Hmm.
One of my favorite lines from that first vertical. I'm I'm like up in Nicole Maddox's face. I'm threatening her. I'm telling her that like I'm gonna get her, blah blah blah. I've got my arm up. I've got her pinned against the bookcase. And just as I'm about to like smooch her or like do whatever, my beta walks in and he's like, "Sir," and I have to like back off, Nicole.
Hmm.
And my beta is like, "Sir, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Your uncle, he's invited you to his birthday." And my character literally stops, thinks to himself, and goes, "Huh, he's never invited me to his birthday before." And I'm just like, what kind of world am I in right now that these characters are like threatening and fighting with each
And
other?
then worrying
And
about a
yet
birthday
I'm
invitation.
so concerned. I don't know. I just thought it was like a silly banana thing. It's just, but that's how these are. Like, but again, to go back to the Shakespeare, like Shakespearean characters all the time, they have their soliloquies, they have their internal monologues, they're addressing the audience.
Yeah, a
And
lot here in
so,
Germany. We have Goethe and Schiller. You know the
okay,
Faust,
what,
Staff and Leck.
okay.
You know Goethe's Faust, the
Mm-mm.
story.
Tell me.
Oh, Faust is a lecture you have to read in every school. It's the big
Is
Goethe
this the
one.
Faust where we get the Faustian bargain from? Is that the same thing or are those separate? Okay.
It's Mephisto stuff, and oh,
Okay, yes.
there are only monologues, weirdo monologues. And here in
Yeah.
Germany, you have to read it in school and do your
Okay.
examinations in German about this lecture. And it's really weirdo. And there are a lot of school theaters and stuff like that who are playing this stuff. And I was in a school theater group where we played Goethe's Faust. And there was a big, big monologue about I don't know how many pages. And it was so weirdo speaking where I was thought,
Yeah.
this person is physically totally ill. What drugs did he take, please, to do
Yeah.
that?
Oh my goodness.
But I spoke with Kaylin Peluso, and her first one was also werewolf one. She has to play a dead person in it, and she told me she was lying on the ground with closed eyes, and all she was hearing was my alpha, and she was, what the heck they are talking about? And after that one, she decided 8 months not to do any more verticals because she was thinking, what the heck was that of kind of shit?
Yeah. Yes. Oh my
So that
goodness.
was the reason why I'm asking, what was your intention after this?
Right. Okay. So yeah. So I was really commenting on just like why I didn't feel it was weird and why I could
Yeah,
justify
yeah.
it. But yeah. Okay. So let's say that like it's the end of the week. I wrapped. I just finished my first one. Honestly, I was kind of just high off the fact that I made enough money to. I didn't make enough money to quit my restaurant job. Like obviously, you do one gig, you're not set. You know what I'm saying? But the
No, and
idea
you're
that if
not
I
a
did
billionaire in real life? No? No?
not quite, not quite.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but if I did one per month and I maybe had a part-time job, like for a second there, I was doing one per month, and then I was trying to do like a door-to-door sales gig as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then eventually the one per month turned to two per month, and then I let the sales gig go. And so yeah, it was just light bulbs. It was very much like very excited to meet people on set. That was huge.
How
Because you
was
feel
the
kind of
pace
isolated. The Oh, you mean
filming?
like the pages per day and how much we're
Yes,
doing?
yes. How was the
I
speed
I kind of
on
loved
set?
it. I loved it. Some
Okay.
people get really intimidated by it. I think what it is I was one of those kids in school who was like excited to read the textbook when my
Mm-hmm.
turn was called because I feel very comfortable like reading
Okay.
with I guess you as an actor we call it cold reading. Like if somebody hands me a script
Mm-hmm.
and I read it for the first time, even if I don't quite know the circumstances, I can at least have something feel natural coming out of me. And I know that sounds like maybe an obvious thing that actors should be able to do, but I've had a lot of co-stars, and not even in verticals, just even in school or even like doing an audition with somebody along the way. Some people just aren't good at cold reading. And it's not a bad thing because at the end of the day, like a cold read is not valuable for a performance. A cold read is not valuable to like get that Oscar award winning thing. A cold read is only really good for when? For the first time you're reading it. And
Yeah.
typically the first
Yeah.
time you read it is a place that like we're exploring and there's permission to trip over words and not understand what you're saying and ask questions about definitions and context and relationships. But for me, the vertical space, somebody could hand me the script, and I know that, if I want to be honest, sometimes I'm not in love with my performance. Like I watch some of my stuff and I'm like, Gabe, that was trash. How do we make that not trash next time? But other times, I'm very happy with my performance. And the thing is, we don't get much time to prep. I would
Yeah.
say tops, absolute tops. If anyone's not saying this, then in my opinion, they're kind of lying. Tops, you're getting a month to prepare.
Yeah.
Because once in a while you'll get a script 4 weeks before the project. The reality is, the majority of us say that we really don't get a script 2 to 5 days before.
Yeah.
Because whatever script I'm talking about that we got a month before, it's not the same script we get the week before. Like they've cut so
Okay.
many things, they've rewritten so many things. So if I'm also lucky enough to book a job 4 weeks in advance, I'm trusting that whatever role I agreed to, at the very least, will have the same beginning, middle, and end, that the intimacy will not go past my boundaries, and that the stunts will not go past my boundaries. But
Yeah.
the plot could be something completely different than what I signed on to. It's just
So
how they
it's
are.
kind of surprise every time when you get
It kind
this
of can
the
be.
real script.
Yeah, I did one project in the last couple months, and the project I agreed to, the first 20 pages weren't even in the script anymore. I was just like, what? I love that part. What happened? Where'd it go? You know? But then other times they do a really good job preserving it. But unfortunately, if you want to be active in the space, you're trying to book them back to back, which
Mhm.
means even if I got the script 4 weeks in advance, I'm working on at least two different sets. So I
Yeah.
can't be preparing when I'm trying to be a responsible present actor for the people who've hired me in my current context. So,
Yes.
because they're 12-hour days, and in LA, our commute can be upwards to an hour. And so 12 hours plus a 30-minute lunch plus an hour each way sometimes. Next thing you know, like, when do you have time to exercise? When do you have time to eat at home? Would you even have time to sleep for 8 hours? So you have to really pick and choose your battles in terms of preparation and in terms of like quality of scripts and how much time you have to work on it. But yeah, I don't know. I really
Are
enjoy
you
it.
a
It's
good
really fun.
sleeper,
I'm a very
or
good sleeper.
or are you that type when you come home from set, for you it's hard to, no?
I can close my eyes anywhere. Anywhere. On a plane for 15
Really?
hours. I
And
can
you
sleep
are,
on the floor with the lights on above me. I can sleep while standing.
what's wrong with you, Gabe?
You're correct. I didn't know there was anything wrong with me until I got older because I had so many friends who just like they go to bed and then they lie there for hours and like
Yeah, and
just
there
they
are
can't
so
sleep.
many things going on in their minds. And then when you are doing
Yeah.
12-hour day shooting and then reading through the lines for the next day, you can totally switch off when you're lying down and said, okay, thank you for today. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Really?
That's about it. Yeah, just boink, flip the switch, go to bed, wake up the next day. I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm very grateful because I have peers of mine who they're anxious or they can't turn their brains off or they just don't want to go to sleep, quite frankly, And I'm
Yeah.
like, because some people can run on less. Like I happily run on 8 hours, but I know people who run on like five and a half, six, and that's just not
I
me.
normally
I can,
sleep 3 or 4 hours per night.
but how do you operate? Are you just chronically tired, or are you actually feeling pretty okay?
My body got used to it over the years, to
Okay.
be honest.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not that I'm not laying down. It's the problem that I cannot sleep, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm jealous of all the people who, like you, who can lay down and out. No, I
Yeah.
cannot do that.
Bing, bang,
Shitty.
boom.
So, what are no-gos for you for selecting roles?
Honestly, the no-go's really come down to intimacy for me. So, for those of you at home who do or do not know, a lot of the projects in the vertical space, they like to push the bounds of, we'll say, sexual contact. And
Yeah.
so some of them, all of these for the most part, these projects are romantically driven. There's
Mm.
typically, a guy and a girl and they fall in love and drama happens and they either figure it out or they don't. But somewhere along the way, there is you could say a tension and a release cycle, a dramatic obstacle. And sometimes those obstacles include physical altercations. And so
Mm-hmm.
for me, the sexual contact, I like to know what it is. I don't get intimidated or necessarily concerned about some of the unsafe situations as long as everybody knows what's going on and it's not, how do I put it? Like if a bad guy's this, I haven't done villains in a while though, but like when I was doing villains, if a bad guy is doing bad things, I remind myself that A, somebody has to do that, and B, I would happily fulfill that role as long as like everyone's safe and we're being responsible with each other's needs.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they really for me, sometimes they really just push the bounds of like, this feels kind of rapey. This feels like the dialogue is like not okay. And so that's where I start to just have a conversation with the platform. And I'm like, hey, can we consider taking this dialogue out? Hey, can we pull the scene off without, can we give you, sometimes I'll call it like the juice or like the drama. Can we give you guys the juice that you want without having to have X, Y, and Z physical acts take place? Because
Mm-hmm.
once the violence intersects with the sex, that's where it starts to, like we all know, we've all seen high budget movies with, questionable sexual assault and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But they're different because ideally, if ideally is even the word we want to use, ideally a narrative form of cinema that has a sexual altercation in it is grounded in the story and what's happening for the character's development. And the audience is on that journey and they're learning or they're being entertained or they're experiencing a moment of catharsis. But verticals, they're not written with that in mind. They're
Mm.
written for maintaining watch retention. And they observe the metrics and what moments of the shows are being watched. And so at the end of the day, to put it simply, a lot of the sexual stuff is not for character development. It's not for story. It's for
Yeah.
clickbait. And
Yeah.
so that's where I'm like, why
And
do we?
lately, all the BDMS stuff.
So, okay. So to answer your question simply, I insist on no BDSM. I insist on no sibling adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say characters because I don't know. I just and then I am not a fan of, we could call it XXL revenge genre types.
Mm-hmm.
It's where somebody is overweight and the guy breaks up with her, and so she goes off and she gets skinny and she comes back and he doesn't recognize her and she kicks ass and wins the day. And you know what? Honestly, could be like a great plot, except for the fact that they cast separate actresses for the beginning part of that character's journey
Yeah.
and the end. And so, in some weird way, the writers have managed to, instead of doing like a female empowerment story, they have ironically managed to body shame the actor who's playing the not good
Yeah.
version
Yep.
of so I don't know. I have managed to avoid being on those, and I've actually rejected auditions from projects like that. I can't say never because maybe somebody will knock, but I have been fortunate enough that there have been other jobs that
Yeah.
I currently choose anytime it crosses my desk to just pass. I don't want to be a part of that. I really don't.
That's good.
So yeah, sibling adjacent, XXL revenge, the BDSM stuff. I I actually have a document called Gabe Armentano's sexual intimacy guide, and I really don't take it out
Do
too
you
often.
give this to the intimacy coordinators?
When asked, it's the thing is the verticals are pretty consistent. They usually have a coordinator, and more or less the scripts that I've been hired for, it's usually the same thing. There's making out. There
Towel
is
drop?
a what? Oh well.
The
Oh my goodness.
classic
Yeah.
towel drop?
I think I've done one towel drop, maybe two. It's so
Only
silly.
only
So,
one.
but well, that's what I'm saying. I don't usually do a lot of them. There's some actors who I feel like they do them every single script. I think it's the abs. I got to get better abs if they want the
I
towel drop.
spoke with Cayman Cardiff about how often he proposed and how often he got towel dropped, and Casey Esser also.
Yeah, exactly. It's
So you're
just
a bit behind with the towel drops, Gabe.
oh yeah, for sure. No, I feel like I tend to be hired for the grouchy CEO or kind of like the sweetheart husband. That tends to be more of my like category that I fall into. And those stories don't necessarily like if they do the towel drop, it's more of a comedic thing, not a like hot, sexy thing per se. And
Yeah,
so
but to be honest, when you say you are more that lovey-dovey husband type, I prefer this one. I love verticals where the man and the woman are equal in the marriage,
Mhm.
where they are more like a team and not like the dominant husband who tells
Yes.
his wife always what she has to do. That's
Every scene grabbing her by the hand and pulling her
yes.
out, like just
Bring
all
me
the time.
that, do that. You cannot do that. Clean that up. Oh, come on. No.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm totally with you. I get it.
I want to see more
It's a fire
verticals where
trope.
there are really powerful women, also in leadership roles in companies, because that's not so unusual today.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not unusual at
It's
all. My
always
girlfriend,
the
she does these.
man.
My girlfriend does these in China, and she's playing the leading lady, and she's the CEO of a company.
That's good.
And honestly, I'm very excited for her because she started doing them earlier this year, but she's not the stereotype leading lady for these because, as we all know, they usually fall to like a blonde or brunette who's between 5'4" and 5'7", we'll say, And my girlfriend is like a 5'9" short-haired redhead, and so the
Yeah, I'm
director pulled her
5'10".
aside. See, okay, so the director pulled her aside and was like, "I want you to do this role because a lot of people don't expect you to play this, and it's going to bring such a fresh take on like a badass CEO leading lady." And so, yeah, I was very
Also
excited for her when they
vertical
gave
stuff.
also vertical stuff, yeah, because she's based out of China and they shoot like how I said in New York, there's like a 5-to-1 ratio for LA to
Mhm.
New York.
Yeah.
China, supposedly, this is the number I hear. China to LA is like a 10-to-1 ratio. So for every I know it sounds insane, but for every 100 they're doing in LA, supposedly they're doing upwards to 1,000 of these things. Like they are
Wow.
constantly on set in many, many different cities. It's just it's huge. It's crazy. I still can't quite wrap my head around how many productions are constantly being made. But yeah, if there's like 20 at a time being made in Los Angeles, we'll say 15 to 20, then there's upwards to I guess 100 to 200 being made in China. You have to remember those cities are just bigger out there. I forget that. And I'm sure you know this because you're more traveled than I am. But as an American, it was a big culture shock to find out that like LA, city of 4 million, county of 10 million. I go to China and their city has 18 million people. Like that's
Yeah.
just bananas, you know?
The whole German country has 82 million people.
Yeah, that's teeny weeny
What
in my
was
brain.
different than in shooting in China to LA?
The biggest, like most obvious thing is the hours. Always the hours. Have you had a chance to talk with any of the actors who've been to China?
I spoke with two or three who worked in China, and they said they always have 18 hours a day.
Yeah, so I would say I've been fortunate enough that I wouldn't say 18 hours has been guaranteed in my experience. I've done six productions out there. I did two tours. I'm probably going to do a third
Six
one somewhere. Six projects, yeah.
in a row?
Uh, I did four in a row in the spring and two in a row in August.
Okay.
So broken up, two separate tours. And
Hmm.
like I said, I'll probably go back in February. I'm going to go back sometime in the winter. And my average day count, I would say, is about 15 hours. A lot of people they get a little freaked out because they're like, yeah, the days are just a little bit longer there. And I'm like, okay, let's pump the brakes. Let's try to be diplomatic about this. The reality is the base day there actually isn't longer than US standard, and I am being very diplomatic here. But let's think about this from like a numbers standpoint. A US production standard is 12 hours plus a 30-minute lunch.
Hmm.
In China, my understanding is typically, at least the contracts I've seen, a standard day rate constitutes a 12-hour workday, but with two meals.
Okay.
The work culture in China is that there will be, no matter what, always minimum two meals on set, oftentimes three. Some people have a working breakfast. Sometimes if you're doing OT, they'll just get another meal on set. So people in their mind think, oh, China, yeah, minimum you're doing is 13 hours, which is true. Technically, the 13th hour is just two meals instead of one.
Okay.
The difference is, though, is that in China, because the difference in work-life balance, it's very much a you do it till you get it, and we don't go home till we're done. And
Mm.
so in the US, it's standard practice no matter what, always forever. After 6 hours, everyone's breaking for lunch. We don't care what you're doing. If you started the scene, if you're about to finish the scene, if you're in the wide, if you're doing intimacy, blah, blah, blah. 6 hours, you get your ass off the set, you go eat lunch. And the caveat to that is production can call for grace. Hey guys, can we just get a grace of 15 minutes? Let's finish this intimacy so we don't have to do it after lunch. Nobody likes to do intimacy after lunch because, surprise, you're bloated from food. Um, it kind of sucks. I hate doing it after lunch. Um, but, or like, hey guys, Grace, can we get 2 minutes just to wrap this up and then we'll come back after the wine or whatever. But in China, they don't stick to a 6 hour rule. So your first meal could be within 4 hours of being on set. And then the next meal could be 8 hours later. And they know that because you're getting fed twice, because everyone's there to just get it done, next thing you know, yeah, 12 hours goes by, you've eaten twice now, 13 hours, 14 hours, 15 hours. So my average, I would say, was probably around 15 hours. My best productions did end under 13. And my worst production day ever was a 23-hour workday. I'm not kidding. I got in the van at 7 a.m. and I didn't get in the van home till 6 a.m. the next morning.
Oh shit.
We just kept going. We just kept going.
What keeps you so addicted to this vertical stuff?
Um, I would say that I have a dream to have a career like Bradley Cooper, John Krasinski, Stallone, or Eastwood, where I really like the premise of acting, writing, directing, producing. Do I have
Hmm.
to do all of them? No. Am I a control freak? No. But I love storytelling. Like I have all these ideas for stories, and storytelling for me doesn't have to be limited to cinema. Like I like game design. Like I'd love to make a board game. I like writing and prose. I enjoy, as we know, playing on my piano and putting music on Instagram. But when it comes to cinema, in the last year, it has become clear to me that verticals seem like a really good opportunity to cut my teeth, not only as an actor, but if I can just get my ass to finish an outline, like I can take the outline and get a script. I can sell the script and package myself as an actor. And I've seen other actors do this. Very exciting to see them do this. And so I would love to push myself to be in a position where people see that, oh, he doesn't just want to act, he wants to contribute creatively, he wants to contribute to the overall story. And so at some point, it would be nice to establish that kind of reputation in the industry so I can eventually leverage that into different mediums. So now it's not just I'm writing and acting or writing, acting, producing in verts, but eventually I can take, such as the short that I did with my friends in December,
Yeah.
which again I'll send you a link for.
Yeah, please.
I can leverage that experience onto feature films. Maybe I can leverage that onto a TV pilot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess if we want to use the word addiction, what keeps me coming back for more is kind of chasing this carrot that it really is a path to somewhere else. I think people look at the vertical space and they see it as a corner or a dead end. And I just don't think that's true. I don't. But it's all a frame of reference or a perspective. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited how it will go on in the future because I think
Yeah.
it's still at the beginning. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
will see. Gabe, we are nearly finished. We are talking more
Okay.
than an hour already.
Wow.
At the end, I will ask everyone a 5-question quickie.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I I think too
It's
much,
not.
so.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm not crossing your
I
boundaries.
said I can.
I'm
I said I
not
can turn
crossing
off
your
my
boundaries.
sleep. I said I can turn off my sleep, but sometimes I can't always turn off my brain. Okay, go shoot. Let me hear it.
No. First, I want to know what's your favorite dish? I judge people by
Like
eating.
food to eat.
Yeah. What's your favorite
I love
meal?
ceviche. Ceviche. I freaking love ceviche.
Ceviche?
Yes.
How do you
Have you
get
had
to
it before?
ceviche? Yeah.
It's just the most refreshing thing in the world. It's I don't know. Anytime I go to a restaurant that has some kind of Central American, South American bent, I will get it. It's just it has to. I have to get it. It's so good. Yeah.
That's
I love
nice.
steak. Yeah.
Ceviche. Yeah,
Big
that's
on
good.
cilantro. Big on cilantro.
Okay. But if you ever have been in Italy, I think that would change.
I
Some really
you're
great
probably right.
homemade Italian pasta.
Mhm. When I went home to see my dad, we made homemade eggplant parm, and that was awesome. It was so good. He got the meat slicer and just sliced the eggplant. It was sick. It was so good.
Oh, that's nice. That's really
Yeah.
nice. What's your favorite film at the moment?
At the moment, Oppenheimer, I would say, is my most recent, just
Really?
like 5 times in theaters. It just knocked my socks off. I saw it in 70 millimeter. I saw it in IMAX digital. I saw it in Dolby. I saw it in Standard
Holy.
Laser. I just love that movie. It really impacted me. Yeah.
And what's your favorite song? What kind of music do you listen?
Music. Oh my goodness. It was funny. The first thing that pops into my head is like Motown, Earth, Wind and Fire, September, or like Jackson 5. That's very like
Oh,
upbeat, keeps
Jackson
me like
5 is so
just
cool.
right, yeah, just wakes your ass up. Talking about one, two, three.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's oh my God. Yeah, it's a good pick me up. That I will happily
it's
and I
kind
listen
of,
to different stuff, but
I spoke with Hunter Cole this week,
okay.
and we spoke about the favorite music, and he said that he loved some European music,
Ooh.
and European music pops always ABBA in my head. You know ABBA, the Swedish pop band
Mm-hmm.
with Dancing
Mm-hmm.
Queens.
Yeah.
Every song of ABBA puts me in a good mood.
Yeah.
That's so
So
cool.
good music. It's so necessary. So
Classic
necessary.
music, you know?
Yeah.
But the great ones. The totally great ones. Yeah, we need that. So if anyone asks you, Gabe, I want to watch Verticals from now on, which one of yours should I watch? What would you tell?
I think two. I'll give you two. I'll give you three off the noggin. One I think is one of my more popular ones, supposedly based off metrics. Hear My Love Again. Hear My Love Again is just a very sweet drama about a woman who previously lost her hearing, regained it, and I'm a politician trying to working through this like political marriage. So that I think that one performed pretty well.
Yeah,
I really
that's also
enjoyed
very good.
I really enjoyed After All This Time with Kylie Nicole Pearson. I play an actor who is working through a broken relationship with his high school sweetheart slash agent and his current co-star who's like out to get him. But after all this time, I just
I'm not
enjoyed making
sure
that
if
one.
I saw it.
It's a little one. It was only probably 60 pages, so it's not more than an
Do
hour.
you know which
Um,
platform it was released?
I think it was on Love Shot. Was it on what? No, it wasn't Love Shot. I forget, but it was definitely called After All This Time. You'll find it
Okay,
on the IMDb.
I
But
will.
it was just I don't know. It was nice to do something different than the CEO
Yeah,
Alpha whatever.
yeah.
It's just a movie star kind of entertainment thing. And then the last one, I really had a lot of fun making the Hidden Land to my CEO's heart. It was just a silly, stupid comedy, lots of like goofy jokes, and I love Brendan Fraser in George of the Jungle, and I felt like that's what they were going for, and I thought it was just so much fun. I
Hopefully,
really
there
enjoyed it.
are more like that with more comedy in it.
That's what we need is more silly jokes.
Absolutely.
It's so much fun. So
So, last question. What genre you wanna have more in verticals? Or maybe new genre?
I definitely want more comedy. Comedy is hard. I'll give you two genres, maybe three. Comedies, we just need more in general. I think they're
Yes.
going to be hard because people are not paying attention to the writing as much as the comedy demands.
Mhm.
And honestly, comedy is like a special skill set that I think the majority of actors in the vertical space will struggle with. Because I think it's
Mhm.
really easy to give like a sexy smolder face and like kiss
Yeah.
somebody and like model. But jokes really require finesse and rehearsal. And in some
I
ways, it's
can
not even
tell
the
you
actor's
one
fault.
actor who's totally fit for comedy. Adam Chisnell.
Who?
Adam Chisnell.
Have I worked with Adam? Um,
He's
I mean, I believe it.
so, and it was so funny recording with him, and he put so many
Amazing.
really funny reels on his Instagram profile. If you have a bad day,
Good.
go to his Instagram profile, and
Okay.
you are totally laughing. He put yesterday a reel where he is a bride, and he's
Uh-huh.
like the $1 million show, The Sound. Um, it says, after you're married, you catch your husband cheating. What would you do? And then have to send you a link. It's so typical, ridiculous, vertical, but in
Yeah.
such a funny way. He would have been totally good in comedy once. Absolutely.
And that's the thing. Once the platforms embrace that people want comedy and they just basically if they gave people outlines that they could get improv actors and comedy actors to work on, it would blow up a whole new genre. And it would
Yeah.
be probably even cheaper to make because you could spend less on the writing.
Mm.
So comedies for sure.
Yeah.
I personally want to see a little bit more of thriller and horror. I think some people just don't like that genre, and that's totally fair.
I
I grew
cannot
up not
watch
liking it.
horror stuff.
I get it. I grew up not being interested, didn't want to watch it. But the older I get, specifically for verts, you have to remember watch retention currently is exposition, like revelation of information, or it's action, or it's sexual tension.
Yeah.
But we don't have jump scares. And jump scares could be a very reliable way to keep eyes on. And like horror films are just like, they don't have to be horror, but they could be more suspenseful. Verticals could be much
Yeah.
more suspenseful.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so I'm working. The one I'm outlining right now is like a medical romance thriller, and so I'm hoping to just introduce a little bit more of that suspense in there. And then the last one would be I'd like to see more period stuff. I really want more period. I love the costumes. Like, give me some like westerns with like the cool ass skirts and
Western,
the old ass,
totally. Hopefully.
right?
I'm
Oh,
I'm totally open for Western, but the old Western with the saloon stuff and the
yes,
saloon ladies and the sheriff one
yes,
and the duels and horses and lasso. Oh, yes.
yes. Yeah, yeah. I would love to do that. And you know what? That's what I was saying earlier. Spaghetti westerns. If they're being made cheap, we can make them in Italy. And bing
I
bang boom.
spoke with
That'd be so
Roberta
fun.
Sparta about Western.
Yeah, what'd you
She
say?
told me, I asked her if it would be more complicated than doing Western than doing the normal stuff. And she said to me, no, it won't be a problem.
Interesting.
So it's all about the money, as usual.
Yes. And
We
the
need someone
platforms,
who
they are
takes
so
the
risk
risk
averse.
to Roberta would produce it.
Yeah.
John Henry Richardson would also be in it in Western because he said also he wants to do some great Western.
Sick.
Do you know Thomas King, the actor from Atlanta?
No, I'm gonna write this
He
down.
looks like a
Okay.
cowboy, really. When I spoke with him, he had a mustache and he was more the yeehaw type, you know?
That's
And
very
he could
cute.
ride horses.
Great.
So the cast would not
It
be a
can be done.
problem. And
It can be
Roberta
done.
said producing it would also not be a problem. So it's all about the money.
Yeah.
Where do we get the
Interesting.
money? If you're playing your next billionaire CEO, could you transfer some money?
Yeah,
As long as
exactly.
you are a billionaire, could you transfer some money? That would be
So,
great.
yeah.
We will
So,
see.
well, yeah,
There's
exactly.
still
That's
hope.
what it comes down
There's still hope.
to. Well, there's just so much room for growth. The space, like you said, it's just beginning. That's what's
I'm
going on. It's
sure
just
about
beginning.
that. Totally sure about that. So, Gabe, thank you very much for your time. It was a
Total
pleasure having
pleasure.
you. Oh, my
Yeah.
dog is awake. Bye, dog.
Good morning.
No, he goes to his bed now.
Very
Yeah,
cute.
he's young. He's 7 months old, you know. Yeah, the younger
Oh,
one is only 7 months.
adorable.
No, not adorable. Chaotic. Really chaotic.
Oh,
And
really?
puberty. So not so easy. So, Gabe,
Okay.
hopefully I will see a lot of your work again. And you
I'll
know,
keep it coming.
I'm a bit open, honest reviewer for that.
I love that. We love the open. Yeah, always tell me what you don't like. Tell me what you do like so we can keep it coming.
Yeah, I'm doing with the 6 Big Review Ladies.
Cool.
Every month, a monthly recap episode for the podcast where we speak about the episodes who got published in this month and
Yeah.
what we did like and what we like.
Who is that?
That's Dion.
Dion.
Yeah, the
Goodness.
7-month-old. Dion, I'm working here. You cannot disturb me now. You want to say hi? Or what? Here.
You're so cute.
A baby.
What a
Yep.
beautiful
So
dog.
we are doing always open reviews. Are you reading reviews?
I only catch the reviews that are on Instagram. So when people drop a review on there that I'm tagged in, then I'll give it a read. But I'm not like actively IMDbing
Searching
or
for it.
Googling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we will see. Hopefully, a lot of new work, and you come to Europe. Hopefully,
It'll happen. Definitely gonna happen.
when you are in Europe, let me know.
Sounds like a plan. That sounds good.
Thank you very much. I wish you a nice day. It's
You too.
how late is it? Yeah, you're half of
30
the
almost.
day now.
See what
So
else can get done. Yeah.
yeah, have a nice day, and thank you for your time. And we'll stay in contact.
That sounds awesome.
Bye,
Michaela, thanks for having
Gabe.
me. Bye.
This is a wrap on this episode, and I hope you tune in again.